So it appears that it is time for me to put on my historian hat. Because yes, I am a historian, and I think this conversation needs to be brought to the forefront because apparently the Republican Party is once again trying to lay hold of figures like Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, and Harriet Tubman for their own political benefits. So since they're trying to do this, allow me to educate everyone on the history of the modern political parties. There are some very uneducated and ill-informed Republicans who will try to tell you that Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln and others were Republicans during the Civil War era, and that by virtue of that, they say they would have also been Republicans today. No, they damn well would not have. If you have a problem with cursing, don't continue to listen, because I'm probably going to curse if I get angry again. So let's go ahead and look at what that means. Yes, they were Republicans during the Civil War era. That is true. But guess what? The Republican Party of that time period is not what the Republican Party is today. So come with me, children, on this history transportation vehicle. We're going to go back in time to the beginning of the formation of the United States as it is known today. So our first official president of sorts was George Washington, right? And when George Washington was leaving office after his second term, a couple of things that he made clear to everyone in the nation was that presidents should not be in office more than 2 terms. He was setting a precedence in that way to avoid having a monarchy and other issues that had happened in Europe, right? But also in his farewell address, he warned people against political parties. But of course, just like, badass children, we got to learn the hard way. So political parties did still form, and it was a way of people concentrating within a group. This is how we're going to vote. But initially, it wasn't Democrat and Republican. There were other types of groups. The Democratic Party, by name, came into being around the 1820s. And this was all around the time that Andrew Johnson ran for office, okay? At this time period, the majority of Democrats were in the southern states, which at this time very much wanted to maintain the institution of slavery. Fast forward to 1860, by this time, Abraham Lincoln and other Northerners who are opposed to slavery are considered Republicans because they formed that party, the Republican Party. So there's this split, North and South. Just so happens that at that time period, the South's political party was called Democrat. But guess what? The mentality of Democrats in that time period is what Republicans are today. So honey, it's much more to it than just a name, okay? For example, we're out here in New Orleans, and in 2009, we had a Super Bowl winning team in the New Orleans Saints. But the last couple of years, they haven't won a Super Bowl. So we're not going to continue to call them Super Bowl victory top winning teams just because they have the same name. It's not even the same team because some of the people are still there, but it's a lot of new faces. So you know what that means? It's not the same team, people, just because it's under the same name. And the same thing is very true of the political parties. I'm just saying, like, is Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln still alive today? Are they still a part of the Republican Party? Please let me know, because look, I need to talk to them because I need to figure out how they still living, because I want to live as long as that. Obviously, they're not here, people. This Republican Party is not what it was in 1860. So please drop the BS, okay? Because there was a change after the Civil War. What ended up happening by the 1900s, the early 1900s, the Republican Party started to shift into what it is today, which is very bigoted, very much, oh, we don't want to provide services or anything at all if we can avoid it, okay? They call this trying to save money, but what they do is they privatize everything. So by privatizing everything, they convince their constituents, oh, we try to save y'all money. No, y'all not. You still got to pay that private company. Where you think that money's coming from? That money is coming from tax dollars. That's your modern Republican Party. All they about is let's privatize schools, hospitals, prison systems, still taxing American people to pay private companies that they all receiving a little piece of that check from. That's what the Republican Party is. That's what it is. And it's based on bigotry. It's based on oppression. It's based on constant division. The Democratic Party in the early 1900s had a shift into focusing on attending to the needs of the workforce, attending to equality and social justice. This was where the Democrats went. This is why, even in the state of Louisiana, which is heavily Republican today, this is why for such a long time, your ancestors, people who are listening to me who are from these Republican states, the majority of them were Democrats. Because what they recognized is that they were among the workforce. They were not among the wealthy population. They were among the workforce. And the Democrats, still to this day, are the party that typically supports equality, typically supports fair wages, supports you having a safe work environment. You feel me? That's what they support. The Republicans, what do they support? Except not wanting to do shit. That's what they support. Tell me what a Republican thinks the government is supposed to provide for its people. Because every time they coming out, they talking about what they're trying to stop, what they're trying to prevent. It's some bullshit, okay? So the next time a Republican comes to you and says, well, you know, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, they would have been Republicans. Bullshit. No, they wouldn't have. They were Republicans at that time period because at that time period, the leadership within the Republican Party was focused on the working class, was focused on the rights of Black Americans. Okay? Today, the Republican Party is not that.
She said, open it up raw like wounds, like tombs, exposing the ruins, the ruined parts she resurrected. Nothing perfected, just redirected. Prevent infection from hate injections, that shit kills like heroin. But I am the heroine, the female hero in this story. So let's begin. They call me heathen, but I rock angel wings. I am unexpected, boundaries rejected, forget man-made limitations. I am a seed of heavens, rocking tattoos, screaming fuck yous to the guilty of oppression and murder. Cause my God is a God of love, and his or her will be done. Means superficial surfaces don't mean nada to the God up above. Not just above, God in front of your face, top of your head, ringing from sun like amazing grace that you're still breathing. Who's really the heathen?